for some reason it's like, yeah, Dom, he's I just randomly pick a feed for that. That's fine. Let's see. There we go. All right, we got it. We're good. Let's do it. Yeah, I was just saying before we hit the stream button that I didn't do a stream for like a whole week because, you know, Christmas or whatever. And game cancellations. And let's be honest, like maybe some Marvel Rivals. I don't know. Playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 with the kid. Just trying to make it through the holidays, the end of the year. And it has been a year. It has been a year. It's been so fast of a year for me, anyways. The year went so fast that I can barely remember what happened. Like, I don't know if things that happened in 2023, I think they happened in 2024 because 2024 happened so fast that I don't even know what happened in it. Yeah, it ain't great. So, yep. Where do we even start? I'm heading over to the YouTube, to the playlist section.
Yeah, that's what I did.
All right. So, this year, we had Curse of Strahd Daybreak. We had Curse of Strahd Nightfall, which successfully ended. Curse of Strahd Daybreak not going to end until next year. We had Outlaws of Alkenstar Sunset end. We had Outlaws of Alkenstar High Noon still going. We had Mythic Odyssey end after almost 4 years. We played some Dragon's Bane, and I'd like to continue that next year as schedules permit. There was a Strength of Thousands game that started? Yeah, it started in February? March?
It started in 2000 April 10th.
April 10th. All right. So then we had what else happened this year? Oh my gosh. I want to say that Abomination Vaults ended last year in like right before holidays. I want to say that it ended right before holidays. I don't think it went through to the new year. I think it was like longer ago than that. Man, I can't even remember what happened this year.
Final session was December 19th last year.
Okay.
Exactly 1 year ago it ended.
Wow. All right. And then we had any other games that happened this year? I mean, Red ran quite a few series this year. I ran quite a few series this year. We had first Pathfinder Extra Life this year. Man, what else was going on?
I was checking to see if the video games that we played was this year, but no, Celeste was last year.
Damn.
And Ball was also last year.
We didn't do in 2024. We didn't stream any like 4-player co-ops. Wow, that's
we were all burnt out. We were burnt out from
Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
We did play some Tales from the Loop this year. That's like, it's fun, but it's very hard to get everybody together for it, for sure.
Yeah.
And then because most of the people that are in it, well, not most of the people, I'd say me and Leah are pretty busy. And then Basil's pretty busy. And then yeah, it's just hard to get everybody together for it. We started and ended a Vampire the Masquerade game. Cryptic Muffin says that Cyberpunk ended this year.
Yep.
Back in March?
Yeah, March. Something and then
like
a month after Strength of Thousands started.
Jeez. What else? Oh, a game that never started and never will start. Crown of the Kobold King Whoops All Kobolds that I prepped like 90% of the campaign and then canceled it. When there
needs to be a dream sequence, or like there's gonna be a like one of those problems with the kingdom, that needs to get solved by a group of kobold. They're gonna be sent them in. There's gonna be like
It's fine. Nobody would have
There's gonna be a Sky
enjoyed
Island.
a Grand Theft Auto style game with kobolds. Nobody would have enjoyed that.
There's gonna be a Sky. There's gonna be a Sky Island in Skyhaven that is just a kobold war against another group of humans that got dropped into here.
It's fine.
Oh.
I mean, I have it ready to go if I ever need it, I guess. Oh yeah, a few games of Blades in the Dark got played to kind of experiment with that system. There was a lot of trying out of new systems. Mothership ran a lot. We had a lot of partners, I guess we'll call them partners. Partners of our Discord that came in and gathered up players and took them somewhere else to do stuff with them. And you guys did a lot of Starfinder. And I think there was a few like 5e one shots and mini series.
Oh, I think Leah ran her Stormlight thing.
Oh yeah, playtesting the Stormlight Archives. Yep, the Cosmere RPG. Yeah, I mean we were busy. We were definitely busy. So then there was
I remember last year one of our things was we wanted to try out more games.
Oh yeah, should I pull that up? Should I pull up our resolutions to see if we actually met them?
Do you have them?
Yeah, I have them here. Are you ready? Are you ready to look hard in the mirror, Dom?
Oh no, I didn't. I know I didn't complete it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Fit. There we go.
I said I was gonna play a Vampire Masquerade game. I said I was gonna reduce my game played.
All right, so this was our resolutions and goals for 2024. Dom says less campaigns. Okay. More variety, more one-shots, and miniseries. I feel like you did do that. I feel like you did that one.
Yeah, but so I did do that part, but I didn't do the main part.
When Thursday opens, leave it open. When Sunday opens, leave it open. Dang. Future Dom, how do you feel looking back at past Dom? Do you feel like past Dom was a naive idiot, or do you are you at all apologetic to him, or?
I feel like I failed him.
But here are your goals. Improve your role-playing and NPC development. All right, so I'm bad with names, but the guy that was hanging out with us that kept stealing everybody's forks and spoons. All right, like I felt like your performance as that NPC was the first time since there was one or two real solid moments in Icewind Dale where I was like, dang, okay. I Dom became that NPC. Normally it's like Dom the storyteller is saying there's an NPC, they're doing stuff. But there were a couple times where you became the NPC. And Spoon and Fork Guy, I felt like you weren't Dom anymore. You became that NPC. So I do feel like there's definitely been a lot of growth, and I think that Strength of Thousands has definitely kind of forced you into that situation. Because it's such a role play heavy game, which is unusual for a Pathfinder adventure. It definitely feels like even the adventurer doesn't understand why we're role playing as much as we are. It feels like every scenario we've had, there's just been an easy answer called murder. But hey, that's cool. Let's see. Sign up for roleplay heavy one-shots. So you had some chances for that. You had some Vampire the Masquerade. You had Blades in the Dark. I mean, no. All right. But you did try Starfinder. You did try Starfinder. A shitload of Starfinder.
I'm in a game right now.
Are you playing a charisma character in any of the games that you played in?
I was planning to play one for Kingmaker.
Okay.
And then they have charisma, but they're not a charisma character.
I see.
I was planning to play one for the Starfinder game, but my problem is I like filling. So if somebody already says I'm playing this character and it's charisma, I'm like, well, we need this. I'll take the burden.
I see.
That's my thing.
Okay. And then there was a goal here called Davicon 2024, but I think that became Secret Summer Birthday Con instead. So I feel like we kind of still had that. We still had the meetup. So it was good.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I'd say you got like a 60% out of 100 as a failing grade. Like, I don't know. I mean,
like I said,
yeah. All right. Let's see if I did it. Let's go. Let's just move on. Less self-harm, hydration, sleep, and vitamins. Okay, so listen to me. All right, hydration, pretty good. I got a mini fridge right here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Within arm's reach, I could just keep pulling drinks out. Okay, so check. Sleep.
Hey, sleep.
Hey, I got the robot, man. I got the robot for sleeping now.
That's a plus right there. That's a passing grade right there.
And vitamins, I'm taking them every day. Bare minimum, taking the vitamin D. Bare minimum, taking the vitamin D. And I take 10,000 vitamin D a day because that's how tanked my immune system is from not taking care of myself. I take 10,000 units.
There's a question in chat for you.
Is there any water in the fridge? Water is the #1 ingredient in every drink in that fridge. So. Yeah, it's just flavored water. It's carbonated flavored water. It's also enhanced with minerals. It's like flavored carbonated mineral water. That's what's in the fridge.
Hey, minerals make up almost every ingredient inside everything, right?
This is one that I don't think I can judge accurately, but if I had to, I would say that I also managed to do this, and that was stop hating on 5e. I really feel like I pulled it back. I really feel like I eased off.
I'll give you that. You did ease off.
All right, like
I don't think you stopped. You did ease off.
I have gone on record as saying that you can't have more fun than just playing like 5e levels like 3 to 7. Like 3 to 7, like that's a 5e game. 3 to 7, that's a great game. That's a great game. I'm not gonna take that away from him. That's a great game. I don't think Pathfinder could be as fun as a level 3 to 7 5e game. Like I just feel like the system excels so hard for those four levels out of 20 at that particular moment that it's pretty fun. I would never ever run a 5e game above level 9 ever again for the rest of my life. Like someone would have to offer me such an enormously fat stack of money to ever run 5e above level 9 ever again in my life. So I want that to be put out into the universe. But all that being said, I do feel like I eased off on him. I feel like I was punching him in the throat every day, and now I just occasionally point out that it's a hot mess. You know what I mean? Seems good. All right, so stop rushing the ending. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's good. I feel like I even said
we had aftercare session.
Yeah, we had bonus sessions there at the end. We had bonus sessions there. We definitely should have had an aftercare session in Curse of Strahd. But I mean, I feel like we all just wanted to get away from Curse of Strahd when that was over. And look, I got games that going into the new year. They're slowing down the start of my new games. It is what it is. So I feel like I also hit that one. Stop rushing to the end. So doing pretty fucking good. Goals. Finish Mythic. Done. Revise my Roll20 tutorial. Alright, so about this one. In my defense, they have no idea what they're doing over there at Roll20. They said that they were going to roll out like a new version of the platform, and like it never went public. Like I think it's still in closed beta. Like, so I don't know what to tell you. Like I also contacted Roll20 back in April or March or something, and I said, hey, I made this tutorial series. It still gets a shitload of views. It gets more views than your tutorial series. I'm willing to make an updated one. Do you want to partner? I'll even run a 5e game on Roll20 if you want to partner up for like a new tutorial series and like a bright future. They just ghosted me. They never even replied. So, I mean, I feel like I took that goal as far as I could. Run more Pathfinder. I definitely ran.
Definitely did that.
Play more Pathfinder. I definitely did that. Try out the MCDM Rule set, I didn't do that because I was so busy trying to stop hating on 5e that I couldn't bring myself to play anything that was like 5e at all. And I know that the MCDM game is not like that. It's more like 4e. I just haven't had. I was trying other stuff. Try Vampire the Masquerade. Did it.
You did it.
Play Kingdom Death Magic. Played every month except for December. We just could not get it together. Somebody had the flu, then Christmas, then family stuff. So
holiday break.
Yeah. And then Davicon got turned into CrashCon. And so, goddamn, I knocked that shit out of the park. I crushed 2024. Crushed it. Not that it was a competition, but I'm going to give myself a 92. Some things were outside of my control, and the 5e hate really wasn't completely alleviated. But I'm going to give myself 92%. Not bad. All right, so with all that and looking back at all that, wow, we got a lot of chat here. Let's see what we got in chat. Hold on. Cyberpunk end of this year, Few of the Blades in the Dark, Cosmere RPG, when Sunday opens, leave it open, and then some mocking emojis. Dom was in Lancer. That's true. Lancer was going on this, and that was on Thursdays. Oh, he was just pointing out that you. Okay. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's see. Scottrick says, I have that one Vampire the Masquerade one shot ready to go where Jay has his team to save Pitler the dog. Beautiful. Going to do at some point next year. Fantastic. Did you know if you have Amazon Prime, you can get a free Twitch sub each month? That's fantastic news. Let's see. I would like to run some one-shot short series. Nice. Maybe some Delta Green. Coin. Let's see. I'm zooming in and in. It's like hypnosis. Oh yeah, the camera just tracks automatically and bobbing up and down my chair. All right. So, what I'm gonna ask you right now. Yep. If I asked you what is one of the hypest, coolest, funniest moments of 2024 on our server? Has to be on our server. I know you played games somewhere else. I know you were running around. I know we have an open marriage now, but this is in our home, Dom. I want to talk about things that happen in our home. So like, what comes to mind? What was if you're looking back, you're like, oh, what happened? And from this point on, this is a free-for-all on spoilers. I just want you guys, everyone in chat, this is a free-for-all for spoilers for all the games we ran this year. So if you don't want any of the games that we ran this year to be spoiled, you should leave now or just mute the stream so you could collect your channel points or whatever. I think one of my favorite moments, and I guess it didn't. Let me check when this. I don't know if it happened this year. Or it happened 11 months ago. At the beginning of the year. Okay. It was It's a Christmas episode for what you call it, Cyberpunk. Okay. When all the crew gave each other gifts and stuff like that. It was such a fun session. I had a blast that session. You bring it up quite a bit, and your players bring it up quite a bit. So I think it had that same impact on them as well. Yeah. I think it was a real. And then the thumbnail for the actual session was just the best too. So it's so silly, but like such a good. I think that's the point for me was that Christmas episode. Not necessarily. So in chat, not the Santa episode where you guys were at the auction, but the session before that when you guys just did Christmas gifts. Yeah, I see I can find it. I'll send you a link to it. Oh yeah, I'm like cruising. I'm cruising through. It was number 51. Okay. On the list. 51 out of 60. Cyberpunk 51. Hood Samaritan Christmas. Okay. 51 is friend or foe? Alrighty. Not episode 51, but like 51 in the list. Oh, shit. In the actual list. What episode is this? Hold on. 52. Sorry, it's 52. Okay. Cyberpunk 52. Hood Samaritan Christmas. All right. Yeah. Alrighty. All right, what are we looking at here? Was it just Theater of the Mind the whole time?
Probably,
Nice.
but because it was just an episode of them dealing with getting everybody Christmas gifts and stuff like that.
Aw, they're at the store. That's
Yeah.
nice. Very cool. Wait, did somebody get a
And then-
puppy?
Yeah, somebody got a puppy.
Oh,
Somebody
very
got somebody
nice.
a puppy.
That's expensive in Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was
Yeah.
expensive. And the
Oh my
person
God.
had to pay a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
And they ran into a bunch of other.
Is this an auction house? What's going on here?
Yeah, somebody threw a Christmas auction.
Oh,
Pretty
nice. Okay, yeah. You had mentioned that, like they were doing like a Christmas time auction to.
Yeah, and then somebody got a pet automatic reindeer. That was like a reindeer drone.
Mhm.
That was very weird. A lot of weird cyberpunk stuff, but it was just like silly,
Mhm.
So it was a good time. Like the most absurd way. And like all the characters they've met along the way showed up too. So everybody was at this party, pretty much. It was really fun.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Man, looking back for me, I'm trying to think. There were some really good stuff this year. Real good stuff. But a recent one that definitely sticks with me was towards the end of Sunset, when like serendipitously they just turn to like the NPC that's with them and they're like, you don't just happen to have a key for this. And then I opened the NPC's character sheet, because Pathfinder, right? And I go to their inventory tab and it says F8 key, and then I look at the map and on the floor it says F8, and I was like, yeah, he does. He does actually have it. And it was just like, it was such a perfectly comedic moment, because it was not like planned, right? And it wasn't like fudged. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think, oh, that'd be funny if the key was there. Like I myself did not know that he had the key. And so when I looked in his inventory and son of a bitch, there's the key, I was just like dying. I was like, I could not believe it. And just to think that they just asked him, like Dirk's character Grom just turned and said, you don't happen to have the key for this, do you? And I was like, let me check. And I was just like, I don't know. I think we were all just stunned for like a solid 10 minutes trying to process the reality of the fact that this guy just had that on him the whole time. It was really good. It was really good.
No, just because it's like something that you think is so simple, but like in this high stress situation, no one is thinking about this. And then Grom, I think the thing too is that Grom's character is like very like sort of monotone too. So like he's like, hey, you don't have to have a key, do you? And like glass shatters.
And you got to remember, for 3 weeks, for 12 hours, it has been like high octane action movie, 24 countdown to destruction, like high stress, high, like, yeah. And then, oh yeah, it's right here. And then to disarm that bomb, if they critically failed, they would detonate the bomb. Like that would be the end. They'd kill themselves. And so it was like, no, I say it's right here. I got it. No problem. And like all of the things that had to happen for that exact scene to happen, and it was all organic. I don't know. I liked that a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Good one.
Yeah, it was good. All right, you got any others? Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
For me, is Dragonbane when we convinced the people to betray the people at the fort.
That's some Dragonbane, and I said this while we were playing it. Dragonbane is some old school like Dungeons and Dragons. It is the oldest school Dungeons and Dragons, because nobody's got a lot of health. You're getting killed in like 3 hits. There's no coming back. Like when you die, your character is made randomly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're just trying to get something good to happen in all of that chaos and nonsense. And like you guys with that amoeba, right? That amoeba down by the river, you guys realized like real quick, you're like, this game is fucking crazy. And so like when you got to this like fort, which it's a complete sandbox, right? So and there's no levels, there's no character levels. So you guys are like, we want to go to this fort, and I'm like, well, the fort's got people in it, and you guys are like, what if we just ask the mercenaries there to betray their employer?
I mean, when we learned that plate was that expensive, and we're all poor, we're like, hey, they're both wearing plate. We could just split that.
To me, it's like this. I kind of thought of it like this, like Iron Man's suit, right? It's so valuable, right? It's so valuable. You can't even imagine how valuable it is. Like, all you'd have to do is just be like, listen, I know you got bills to pay. Help me kill Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, just for the suit. Are you doing it for a political agenda? No, we're just getting the suit. We're just gonna get the suit, and we're gonna sell it on the black market. That's what we're gonna do. That's it. And like all of Tony Stark's like security guards and stuff are probably like, you know, that suit is worth $20 billion. I mean, might as well. Yeah, that was good.
Split that evenly, and come out with more set than what we were getting paid in the first place.
Yeah, that was really good. I think that was the Troopa Lupa, or no, it might have been Golden Apples. Might have been Golden Apples, but yeah, that was.
I think Troopa Lupa was the episode we talked to them, and then we came back and finished off the fort the next day.
It was. I'd love to get back and play some more of that because it has the 5e skeleton that everybody is used to and is very good for organic fun and, you know, really cool, but it has its own like convoluted unbalanced rule system that to me works, you know what I mean? Like it's so bad it's good kind of thing. Like there's so much that's just like left undefined, and it's beyond just like the DM has to figure it out. It's like we didn't even think about it. Like you go onto their Discord and the people that made the game are just there on the Discord, and you just talk to them about the game. And they just let people in the community make content for the game. Every month they have a contest to make more content for the game. And it's, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. It was very enjoyable. Yeah, that was very good. That was very good.
Also, I feel bad for Lex because almost every one of his characters just got killed and left behind in every single game he put.
It was rough.
Like gaming crits, you know.
Yeah, it definitely, I don't know, I enjoyed it a lot. I would love to continue running at least through the box set. I was tempted, honestly. I was tempted to try and run a pirate game using the system because I did feel like it was low magic enough that and like people die so easily to, you know, just regular combat. I felt like that was gritty enough that you could do like a pretty good pirate, just not a sky pirate, just a normal pirate adventure. But that got me in the mindset of like, oh, what about sky pirates? What about this? What about, and then now I'm doing the Skyhaven thing. So All right, that's a good one. If you guys have any in chat that, you know, come to mind, please like chuck them out there. Definitely chuck them out there. Man, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of my favorite things that happened this year were Outlaws Sunset. It was such a good group. When they went to when they went to the High Society Art Gala undercover.
Oh man.
And it was just so fucking dumb. And somehow they managed to be chaotic and stupid without Jericho Darling actively being a part of the adventure. So I think that is a real testament to just how much goofing was going on in that session. But like when Kelly got cornered and couldn't figure out like what to do, and he just jumped out the window, and we're like, bro, you're like 50 floors up. Like, what are you doing? And then he fell like 250 feet, and he tried to catch the ledge of the building, and then he failed, and then he re-rolled into like a critical fail, and he just like hit the ground, and then somehow it wasn't enough to kill him. with massive damage. So then the fact that Jericho wasn't there for the adventure and was waiting down on the street, Jericho was able to go over and like, you know,
what happened, buddy?
Heal him or whatever and carry him away. It was just so dumb. It was like, I don't know. I thought it was great. And then like that was the same session where like Henry's sister-in-law kept hitting on Jet, and Jet kept like work zone friend zoning her, and then Grom's mom thought that Grom was a drug dealer, and like it was just really good. It was really good. I don't know. It was just a great the chemistry between those players and their open-mindedness towards the game. It was very, very fun. So yeah, that's two from Outlaw Sunset. All right, what else you got?
This year. I'm gonna say the first session of Strength of Thousands when you guys were inside the bathroom fighting the
the washcloths.
Washcloth frogs, yeah.
The washcloth. That's when I knew this was gonna be a very tough campaign. Yeah.
The fact that you guys, like, some people were in combat. These frogs were, Attack on Titaning, Lotus. Char was like in his room trying to get set up, just peeking out, like, what the heck's going on. The other people in the just so much stuff was going on all at one time, and none of it was life threatening, but also Pathfinder combat. So I think I really enjoyed that first session.
Yeah, I definitely think it set the tone, right? Yeah, really well. Nice. All right, I got one. And obviously I'm stealing this from you because I'm pretty sure this is on your list, but I'm gonna steal it from you. When we were doing Factspirations, and the self-talk question came up, the negative self-talk, like how do you deal with negative self-talk or whatever, and then you guys could ask any NPC or whatever, and you asked Strahd. And I mean, by that point, you knew that Strahd was just a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew he was like, he was just a piece of shit, and not because he was a vampire, just because he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a narcissistic asshole, just a mess. And his self-talk was like, the negative self-talk was, you ruined everything, you damned everyone you cared about, you damned the land, blah blah blah. But the positive self-talk to counter that could have happened to anybody. And like, when I I was like, well, what'd he say? And when I uttered those words, just sort of like the squeal of laughter that kind of came out of like Remy, just like made all of us bust out laughing. And then like, I think we did not stop laughing for like 5 minutes. I think it was it was, and then we were laughing about it for weeks. Like, it became like a meme of just like, it could happen to anybody. Yeah, and
it affected other games now.
Yeah, and I was like,
me and Remy say it in Season the Ghost sometimes.
And I think that in such a serious, grimdark, meat grinder game, like, having anything funny or lighthearted to latch onto matters so much. And so, like, it's almost like we carried that like a talisman all the way to the end of the campaign at that point, because we had to find some light in that darkness. So I thought that was really, really nice. So yeah. All right, back to you. Year in review.
And in Lancer, our first mini series with Red, we were fighting a boss mech who had this ability to make like sort of like a dimensional wall thing that if you fall into it, you disappear, and you're sort of like trapped in like another. They don't really explain it, and they leave it up to like, you don't know what happens to people who goes inside there, but then they come back and they're supposed to be different, right? And so he made that wall, right? And so to give some background for this, we had like a sort of a roleplay session, roleplay part of that session where we were at a base, and Remy made like we're all military, Lancers, and we found a recruit that was like new and who was like really excited about meeting Lancers. And Remy's character, being like full on like for the Union, full on military, like everything's best about our organization, stuff like that. Like sort of latched onto this recruit and got a part in his mech to let the recruit ride in so that he can go on a mission with him. He was taking him under his wing and stuff like that. And then we go fight this guy who makes these wall things, and he puts it through, and Remy and the new recruit gets pushed into the wall. And when they come out, the new recruit is like messed up, not talking to anybody. Remy's like, you don't want to see what's inside there. It's messed up, and like the whole character changes, and we're like, what the heck happened to them? And so then what we end up doing was when the guy placed the wall, he can't turn it off. It stays there. And so we went and grabbed him and threw him in the wall as well.
Oh, in his own wall.
And in his own wall.
Okay.
And then he came out also, not the same. And so after that point, we finished the mission. After that point, all like talking to Remy's character. Remy's character has like a deep voice now. So, he's like, sullen, and the recruit has like a mustache. It's just different, and their characters change. And so we all keep talking about the wall, and how it changes you, and that became like a sort of a thing from the rest of that campaign and into the next one. And apparently, my character also has a mech that it allows you to teleport, but there's a chance that you have to roll 3d6s, and that's how far you can teleport.
Okay.
If you ever roll all sixes on the 3d6s, you disappear for the scene.
And you go into that weird dimension that you're not supposed to go to, like the wall did?
They mention it, but they don't explain it. They mention you disappear, and that's, I guess, it's supposed to be the same place. And so my character the entire time is like, okay, I need to figure out where they went. So whenever I teleport, I'm trying to get in this area, but it never happened. So,
Dang.
I think it was just a funny like role play thing that happened in this very tactical game that was pretty good.
Good.
Really good. I enjoyed.
Okay. Man, there were so many games, so many scenes.
Oh, I guess let me add to that too.
Uh-huh.
There was also one tiny like ninja mech that kept on returning and beating the crap out of us.
like a
and running away.
Okay.
Lex in the chat.
You guys never caught it? You never caught it?
We did finally took him out at the end, but it was a recurring enemy that would show up, say smack, knock people down, beat people up, and then run away before he got.
It sounds like a Final Fantasy bad guy, honestly. It sounds like a recurring Final Fantasy bad guy.
He's a tiny mech too, so he's like the size of a person.
Nice.
While we're big mech, normal size mechs. Really enjoyed Lancer. Hope Red runs some more.
Oh, I got one. Playing Tales of the Loop, with my kid, who is, young, and then with Dirk, who is older than me. We'll just say older than me. And having those two different perspectives on a game that's like set in the 80s, right? And I'm like just about the right age for like Loop to really, kind of resonate. And like Dirk is definitely like the right age for like the game to resonate. So like it was nice to be in that sort of retro 80s game with someone that could 100% appreciate, right, what was going on because they've been there, and then kind of showing firsthand, like, a person that would have no idea, right, what the 80s were like this was like, and just all like the sort of time traveler like humor that we got to do, where like our kids went to Bill Cosby middle school, which was a feeder school for O.J. Simpson High School. You know what I mean? And it was just like, yeah, it was just like, it was so fun to just be like, these are like, these are the greatest guys in the world. Like, they're never gonna let us down. And just like, it was so fun to just kind of like get to have that sort of like, I don't know, that 1980s nostalgia, nostalgia vibe and everything, and of course, like Cryptic Muffin's character humor was hilarious. Brock and like their special item is a football helmet, and they just headbutt their way through every problem that we encounter, and just like my character having a very problematic crush on his teacher, and like, you know, that was like a thing in like 80s movies and stuff, was like the young gentleman, you know what I'm saying, like the young gentleman thinks he's so debonair or whatever. He doesn't have a fedora yet because they haven't been, I guess, incorporated into that mindset, but like it was a lot of fun. I would say like the whole attempt of Loop, like the games that we did manage to schedule and play, was a joy. It was very, very fun. I would say that the system, the mechanics, I don't like them at all. I think it's pretty trash. I think it's pretty garbage. But like, I think that the game itself, like the setting, the lore, all that, I think that's really good. I just think that it's overall a little too punishing. It's weird to me that the same system that's used for Aliens to make like a realistic representation of like being a space marine and being hunted and killed by aliens is also used to represent being a child getting in over their head with sci-fi stuff. But it does work, because I always felt underqualified for everything we were trying to do. Like, I always felt like we are way in over our heads, and that's true, right? I mean, you're a bunch of kids. You shouldn't be dealing with supernatural horrors and like evil robots and stuff like that. That's crazy talk. But I do feel like it was a little too punishing. But overall, the experience was one of the highlights for me. It's definitely one of the highlights. All right. Okay. Before we do more TTRPG stuff, I do want to ask you. There were some real great games, video games, that came out this year. So I want to know, what was Dom Odyssey's favorite video game of 2024?
Metaphor ReFantazio.
Yeah?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio. Yeah.
Okay. That's the one by the Persona team, right? That tried to do something new and different. Yep. And did they succeed?
It is more Persona, but in a different theme.
Okay.
And what they did is they added all the quality of life that you would want in the next Persona game, but put it in not in high school, like Japanese high school. They put it in like a. It's like
it's sort of a contemporary sci fantasy, right?
Persona, yeah, it's
well, Persona is contemporary sci fantasy, but I mean like the game you're referring to.
No, it's fantasy. It's like, dragons, dragons, elves, cat people,
but
stuff like that.
You're playing as non-humans, and then the bad guys are invading humans, right?
So they call them humans, but they're monsters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the theme. So the reason why the game is named Metaphor is because everything's a metaphor.
Oh,
and so, okay. It's you're playing as fantasy races, and you're fighting these crazy monsters, but they call those monsters human. And all the monsters are like a weird. I forgot what the name of the artist is. They're actually renditions of an actual artist in history. Some of the stuff that he did. But yeah, it's just a really good like story. The character designs are really good. The combat was really good. It's very stylized. I did a stream of it too.
Oh wow! Point. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite. That's my game of the year for this year.
All right.
I played that and I enjoyed it. Music was really good too. And it had a really good spitting monk.
Can you guess my game of the year? Can you guess my favorite game 2024? My favorite video game?
AFK Journey?
That doesn't count. That's not a real game.
Okay.
No, Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord.
Overlord was everything I would ever want from a video game. It was everything that I could ever want. I loved every single minute. I put like 100-something hours into it. I loved that game. It was so much fun. I could not stand not being able to play it. And when I beat it, I was like very happy and proud, and the ending was like really fucking hard, so I was like kind of glad it was hard, because I was like, well, now I'm gonna walk away from it for a bit. And it was just good. It was just such a good experience. Yeah, it was when I tell people, I'm like, if you want to know what kind of games I like my entire life, this game will show you. Those are the kind, like, it had everything. It had everything. It was so good. Yeah. All right. So I wanted to check in on that one. All right. So back to TTRPG stuff. You got any other highlights from the year?
Let's see here. If there's anything else in Stream 2000.
Was that boring? Dang.
No. I'm just trying to remember. I guess this is very recent, but I really enjoyed how you guys handled the busker stuff in Strength of Thousands, with the dealing with the random people that try to get you guys pretend to be buskers, dealing with these random street people who are like street level gangsters that are trying to rob you guys, and then they got way over their head, dealing with all of you. Using your spells to put the disease on him and make him scared, and then demoralize him so much that when he tried to run away, the guy just broke down crying.
Yeah,
and everything like that. I think I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
That was a good arc. It was nice because we felt strong, and then when it got reversed and then we got in over our heads, where we just balls out walked into the middle of their hideout, and we're like, yeah, we're here to kick your butt. It's just two of us because the rest of the team is catching up, I guess. And the fight that ensued, I was explaining to Basil the scenario, right? And I said that Lotus turned into a scorpion, and it turns out scorpions have 40 speed. And so this scorpion is just racing from one doorway to another, like a monster from a monster movie. And as it runs by, it would poison somebody with ongoing poison, and then it would scuttle away again. And the rest of the party is like, we can't kill anyone, please stop. And they're their combat was just trying to stop the ongoing poison from killing these people. And then Lotus was just in full murder mode, and she's just dashing from door to door, ka-cha, 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 like a fucking ninja, just poison, and they're just please, she's gonna kill you, just stop, just surrender, please. We only have so many antidotes, please stop. Yeah, it was very fun. It was a very fun situation. So yeah. I don't know how much you caught of Vampire the Masquerade, but man, Vampire the Masquerade was supposed to be a one-shot, but it sort of had a little bit of lightning in the bottle. You know what I'm saying? The personalities in the group were all so fresh and vibrant and exciting. It was just I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to see where it would go. I just wanted to hear these people role play. Because no offense to our server, because we got some good role players on our server. We got some great role players on our server.
Whoever's playing that Nosferatu and has that voice, that is crazy.
Yeah. And it's just I was enamored with these players. I was I just want to hang out, and listen to them role play, because this is great. I enjoyed the hell out of every session that we managed to squeeze out of that. But it definitely started to feel a bit ill-fated. We just could not get a reliable schedule set up for it, and it was a damn shame, because it was a very enjoyable experience. Another one of my gaming highlights of 2024 for sure, because there was some real funny stuff that happened, some real tense stuff that happened. It was the system is a joy. I mean, I think it's just a great system for storytelling. Scottrick, great storyteller, so it was really just a good experience.
I wish I was able to catch more of it live, but I didn't get a chance to. But I do all the characters were very good. Yeah. I really like that your character, the whole idea of narrating yourself out loud in character. It's great.
Well, what was crazy is you you probably won't be shocked to know that I did no prep at all for this one shot. I just showed up and I was like, I'll just figure it out when I get there. And I was like, I think it'd be funny if his Malkavian madness was that he says all his inner dialogue out loud. That'd be pretty funny because he's like a former poker player and you wouldn't want to, you know, reveal your inner thoughts. So it's the worst possible thing that could happen to a professional poker player. But then as we're playing the session, I'm like actually reading the character sheet and that was his madness. Like that was his.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was his out of the box. Like, oh, so you're gonna play Jay the Malkavian? Well, this is his madness, as he says all his inner dialogue out loud, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Guess it worked out. Guess it worked out. Yeah. I did think it was also great that we were all just playing like out of the box characters. It would be like a group playing like Pathfinder Origins characters or whatever, you know what I mean? Like and somehow making them their own and somehow really like kind of bringing them to life. It was so great. It was good. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, okay. Cryptic Muffin got a good Outlaw Sunset highlight. So my Outlaws games had Wild Surge tables. These Wild Surge tables, I made them myself. I did use an AI generator, and I said just make me like 500 things. Then I went through, I picked out 100. Well, I mean, I filled in what I hadn't come up with myself, and then I like refined them or whatever. Then I went to the great sage himself, Dr. Robin Zorro, and I said, will you take a look at these because I'm new to Pathfinder and I want to make sure that these are pretty solid. And he was like, most of these are going to kill your party. Most of these are just it's going to be a TPK. And I was like, don't worry about that. Just help me make them like, you know, work organically like with the system or whatever. And we saw a lot of bananas shit this year because of these wild surges, like some real stupid stuff, just some real dumb things. And High Noon, they just like embraced it. They were just like, wild surges, yeah. And it wasn't, that's not how they started, but that's definitely how they're finishing. It feels like
I think it's more like Stockholm syndrome, where like
yeah, that's fair. Well,
we know there's this person over here who loves wild magic surges,
and
we're stuck with this person.
Yeah,
so we might as well embrace it.
Yeah, and it got to the point where I think they had a session with like 42 wild surges or something ridiculous like that. But Outlaw Sunset, they were so good, right? I said, please understand, you shouldn't play spellcasters. And then each of them, all 5 of them, were like, we understand. You wouldn't have told us this if it wasn't important. Thank you for respecting us enough to set those boundaries. We're going to listen, and we're not going to use magic. And then we all like hugged, and we're like, this is going to be a great campaign, guys. But the rare instances where they triggered a wild magic surge, Sunset wild magic surges were always apocalyptic. Like, they were always the worst. Just the absolute worst. It is crazy. Grom, being like, yeah, I'm going to experiment with this magical thing and, do some tinkering. And I was like, all right, well, we're going to represent this, like, block of crafting time with 1 check on the wild surge table. Of course he gets a wild surge. Then he causes a reverse gravity, kills, like, 50 people. Like, bodies are raining down from the sky, impaling on, like, lampposts and cars. And it's just horrible. It's just horrible. In the cradle, which, God, the cradle, that's definitely not a highlight for me of the year. In the cradle, things were going from bad to worse, and then a wild surge got triggered because this monster is causing these wild surges. They're not even doing it. It's the bad guys that are doing it. And just an actual house appears on top of Jericho Darling and, like, pins him under the floor. And I mean, it was good. It was really good. It was just like, it was one of those things where it's like, of course a house appears. Of course it does. Like, it was such a bad fight and such a bad situation that, like, a house appearing on top of someone actually made the fight better. Like, that's how bad things were going. Yeah, and I feel like that really kind of captured the wild magic phenomenon was the house falling on Jericho. And then of course there was the high noon thing with the 42 wild magic surges in one session or whatever, which was just ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. So all right, back to you. You got anything?
All right, it has to do with I think this was a Sunset thing because I was watching. It was the fossil golem showing up.
Oh yes, that's another wild magic on Outlaw Sunset. Oh my god,
that was so crazy.
I'm telling you, and then
coming back to it, and it's like fused with Jericho, and you have to fight, and then having Jericho have to fight the team
on their birthday too. On their IRL birthday. On their IRL birthday, they had to PvP their own team in a stone mech suit. Yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Oh man. All right, I got it going for you. What was your, across all the games on our server, what was your top NPC of the year? Who was your top NPC of the year?
Top NPC. Let me think. Oh man, that's a hard one. Top? I mean, I think right now, currently, maybe because Mythic just ended. I think my favorite NPC is still Telemachus.
Telemachus, very nice. Holding the title for 4 years. Telemachus, the random bandit from the road.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's because he's just a random bandit from the road who just became the party's friend. You know, like he is our, that character is our story. He only exists in Mythic.
Yeah, I can see that. Because yeah, he never would have become a part of the story if you guys hadn't spared his life on the road, and then brought him. Yeah, I can see that. Man, I'm trying to think of my favorite NPC of the whole year. It's a lot of good NPCs.
Okay, I'll say favorite NPC that I've interacted with. Favorite NPC I have done, I think, is it's probably gonna be in Cyberpunk. I really enjoyed playing Jeff in Cyberpunk. He was a random NPC that Leah made up as a contact, who has been like the reoccurring sort of, friend of the party who, like, they're driving down the street, they see him getting arrested by something, and he's like asking for help and stuff like that. Or they go to like an auction, he's just happened to be there trying to get in that type of, who's that character, So I enjoy playing him as just like sort of the comic relief, awkward cyberpunk character who is like the party's little brother.
Nice. Trying to think. There's so many NPCs this year. Oh my god. I mean, I really liked Woodchuck. I was actually surprised how much how much I enjoyed Woodchuck. Or Woodchop, excuse me. It's hard to keep his name straight because he's a man of mystery, and a special agent and all that. But
you gotta keep that's his public identity.
Yeah, like Woodchop is, I don't know. It was like he just grew on you, like a mold. You know what I'm saying? like a fungus. He was a really good one. He was an unexpectedly good one. Trying to think if there were any other like really standout NPCs. I liked Irenia. I liked all the Irenias. I really liked all the Irenias. I felt like she had a really important job to do. Which was to keep the morale up across 3 timelines. And that ain't easy with the rules that we were using and the grimdark gothic horror that we were doing. So I definitely was appreciative of her. I thought it was neat that, like, you know, she was cute and, you know, she was beautiful, but she was also like very Barovian, you know, so she didn't bathe and didn't shave and she was stinky and, you know, like it's not like she got cleaned up for like a modern audience, you know what I'm saying? Like she was very much like, if you got isekai'd into Barovia, there would not be a hot anime girl waiting for you. There would be a stinky fuzzy unibrow girl waiting for you. And I don't know, I thought she was great across all 3 of the games. I really enjoyed her as an NPC. And for me, it was such a personal quest, I guess, to make Irenia the kind of NPC that you would feel bad like betraying. Like there were a couple of times in 2 of the 3 groups where it had been floated around, like they kind of floated the idea of, like, you know, use her as leverage, use her as a bargaining chip, use her as a hostage, just get rid of her, like kill her. But like I think that she was endearing enough that for the most part that kind of kept her going, like kept her alive. But yeah, I felt like when I was prepping for that game, that was such a big deal to me, was to make sure that she didn't just get tossed aside, because that was like a thing that I was noticing with like other recaps of the campaign, was like, yeah, like nobody gave a shit about Irenia, or they, you know, got her killed off right away, or they just gave her to Strahd, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah. Okay, you got any other highlights, questions? For, you know?
I got some more NPCs too.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I guess actually, so Irenia, is that a played NPC that you favored?
Oh yeah. So I've only listed played ones. I think I only played in your game this year, right? I only played Strength of Thousands.
In Vampire Masquerade as well.
And I played Vampire the Masquerade too. Ooh, yeah. So, all right. Sorry, Strength of Thousands, but my favorite NPC that I interacted with, and I can't remember her name because it's terrible at names, but Cruella de Vil, the main bad guy / good guy, I don't know, the main antagonist to our party, who was also the party patron, she had a secretary, and her secretary was my favorite NPC. And I can't remember her name right now. It was like a basic white girl name, but like she was Allison. Thank you. Yeah. So Allison was just so buttoned down and just so put together. She's like, I'm assuming like a ghoul, like personal assistant kind of thing. Just keeping the lights on, keeping the whole thing running, the whole evil operation. And then you got Jay. And Jay had his life together, then he became a Malkavian and it's definitely not together, and he's like trying to interact with her, but he's crazy, and she's being like so polite to him even though he's a madman. And it was never like, Jay was never interacting with her to be antagonistic. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't doing it to tease her, he wasn't doing it to torment her. Like, he was just trying, like, legitimately to have like this human connection with someone, but like the Malkavian blood, like, he was just too Mad Hatter, he was just too crazy to like do it, you know? And so, like, I don't know, yeah, like, he offered to like get her like hot wings because they were going to like a famous hot wings place in the middle of nowhere, and she just didn't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? Because like, she's like the baddest second to highest, baddest bitch in this organization, right? Your life is in her hands. She's in charge of like millions of dollars and all these like resources and stuff, not to mention, you know, vampires and all that. And then you're just like, I'm gonna bring you some hot wings. And it was just like, she just didn't know. You could feel that she had no idea how to even respond, what to even do with that. And I don't know, I just enjoyed that NPC so much because Scottrick just kept her so straight-laced and so buttoned down no matter what happened. And it became, for Jay at least, to be like this, almost like this pillar of stability in a storyline that was like very, very, very like all over the place. But there was always Allison. There was always Allison. You go home to Allison, you get refocused, you go out on the next mission. It's always about Allison. So yeah. So that was probably my favorite NPC to interact with as a player, for sure. Yeah. All right, what else you got? It was a long year, man. What else you got?
Okay, another Cyberpunk thing. I guess, you know, as you know, ending Cyberpunk and going through all that. So sort of another NPC in Cyberpunk would be a fixer called Rex Royale. He's a gambling sort of fixer, and he was one of the first like major fixers the party met. So they had a sort of relationship with him, and I always made him be like very friendly to the party when they faced him, but outside of that, not so much. So like he would not answer the calls unless they called at the right time. He would always go to his secretary. When he did talk to them, he was very, very nice to them. Not necessarily helpful, but very nice. He always seemed like he had his own thing going for himself.
Right.
Whenever they showed up for his night market for them to buy stuff, he had a thing where, you know, people can gamble and get win a lot of money. But they had to go against his gambling score, and his gambling score was just broken.
Yeah.
You know? And I think one person's characters won against him once, and they got a good amount of stuff from him. But he was just like a very everybody was frustrated with Rex.
Frustrated because they didn't like the idea of an NPC that didn't need them, maybe?
So, I don't know, maybe. Yeah. But yeah. It was because they like people will be like, okay, maybe we can ask Rex for this, and they'll be like, okay, well, I mean, we can ask Rex, but I don't know.
Yeah, I get that vibe. Yeah.
I think let me see if he's in. Yeah, he's okay in this video. In the video on the stream, he's sitting next to the lady wearing red on the left hand side. He has chips for eyes. Like Cyberpunk redid his eyes to look like, instead of irises, they're
like poker chips. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's very big in gambling.
Nice.
He was a fixer. Yeah.
Awesome.
I enjoy playing him. But yeah, I think now that looking back, I definitely want to run more Cyberpunk.
I know you were like really bummed out that 2077 didn't have Foundry support, right? Is that the?
Well, it's that Red, the system has not been upgraded for V12 yet.
Yeah.
And so since everything else is on V12, and I'm running String of Thousands on V12.
Right. So you'd have to look at like self-hosting if you wanted to do like a Cyberpunk game now, right? Because then you don't want to have to split your Forge install between. Okay.
Or I would have to make it, get a new Forge account and another, what you call it.
Okay. All right. This is the last possible vodcast of the year, right? Because we're already on the 27th of the year. So, I guess a question that I have for you is: Do we want, with these here at the tail end, do you want to set our resolutions for next year, or you want to save that for next Friday?
I mean, if you want to do it now, we could do it now.
I mean, we are over time.
We are over time, though, now we have something to talk about next session.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, not that we ever have a shortage of things to talk about, but yeah. All right, then I guess I'm going to ask you this then: what are the 3 things related to gaming that you are looking forward to the most in 2025? That's what we're going to end on.
All right, number 1, Monster Hunter Wild.
That's gonna be good.
And the Monster and the Monster Hunter campaign I'm gonna run, because of it. So I guess if that counts as 1 or 2,
it kind of feels like 2 different ones. But I mean, you could just say Monster Hunter, I guess. Like a Monster
Hunter.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
Monster Hunter. I'm looking forward to you guys getting further into String of Thousands. I'm telling you right now, I can't wait till you guys get to. I don't know if I should even say this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd prefer no spoilers on this one. Yeah, I'd prefer no spoilers.
I'll just say I'm looking forward to when you guys get to book 5.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if that's next year, bro. Not at the rate things are going. Yeah.
It could be. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'm very excited for that.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how the pacing of the different books goes. I know now we're definitely in like the sort of like chill, like, learn about the world, grow into the world, that kind of thing.
I will say, people say that this book is the weakest of all.
The one we're currently in?
Mm-hmm.
Book, 2, right?
Yeah, book 2. Yeah, book 2.
Yeah. I mean, 6 books, one of them's got to be the weakest, so.
Yep.
Yeah. It definitely just kind of has like the side quest, you know what I mean? Like when they make a trilogy and then they're like, well, the second one was bad because it sets up the third one, and it's like, then why did you make the second one? Just jump right into it. Yeah. So I can see that vibe. I can see that. All right, what's your third thing?
All right, third thing.
It's okay to say Starfinder. It's okay, man.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to Starfinder, but I think I'm really excited to play in Kingmaker and actually have my typical fantasy, TTRPG experience.
Okay.
Like like vanilla, because I've never had that before.
Yeah.
I've never had actual Western. fantasy.
I feel a little bad because in the north, this isn't spoilers. You can just look at the map. In the northwest portion of the map is Numeria. So it's like there is a little bit of sci fantasy sprinkled in the northwest corner of the map, but that's like not the beginning of the campaign, at least. So, like, you'll get to enjoy like normal vanilla missionary fantasy at the beginning.
So this campaign is going to be 3 years long. I'm okay with it not being typical fantasy for the entire 3 years.
Time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if there's, and I know Numeria, and I've seen the images of what Numeria has, and like the image of like a barbarian fighting like a giant scorpion.
I mean, honestly,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, your main from Rivals, Magic, like she would be a character from Numeria. Like absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
If Markel dies, I need to make a new character. Who knows?
In the player's guide, they're like, yeah, androids are a pretty good one for this adventure. I'm like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be a traditional fantasy adventure. You tell these people that they should play an android? Get the fuck out of here. But then, you look at the map, and technically it is right next to Android Land, so. Yeah. All right, that sounds good. 3 things to look forward to. All right.
What are your 3s?
My 3, I am also excited about Monster Hunter. I don't know if I will be able to swing playing the TTRPG Monster Hunter as much as I would love to apply with a PF2 version of Eddie Vincent, pull that boy right out of retirement. I'll have to see closer to when it happens what life is like. Running only 3 games. I gotta see what life is like only running 3 games. I
will tell you it's going to be later than before because I joined Leah's carrying crown thing.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah. Oh no, you joined thinking you were only going to do book 1 of 6, and now you're going to get hooked. So we're not actually playing Monster Hunter TTRPG.
I'm only doing book 1. I'm only doing book 1.
Okay, gotcha. So we're not actually playing Monster Hunter TTRPG. That's fine. It's okay.
Either that it's going to turn into a Thursday game instead of a Wednesday game.
Well, then I definitely can't apply first. That's fine. But I am looking forward to Monster Hunter Frontier because I love Monster Hunter World, and this is like a successor to that. I enjoyed the one with the Attack on Titan, Spider-Man like cables and all that on the Switch. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It didn't engage me the way that World did. And we have such a nice, robust community now, like on our Discord. I feel like we're never gonna be looking for long to find like people to go on a hunt with. So I think it's gonna be a good time. I hope it's gonna be a good time. And then let's see, 2 other things. I mean, I'm excited for the games I'm running next year. All 3 of them. Kingmaker is on my lifetime bucket list. So starting that process, I've been prepping it for a year and a half, right? At least. Because it's like 800 pages of reading, and I'm not very good at reading, so it took a long time to get through it, and I feel good about it. I am still very intimidated by it, and also by the players I recruited. So it's not the game that I'm the most excited for. I would say that the game I'm actually the most excited for is Stolen Fate, because it is the worst published adventure I've ever read. And it's made me like it's almost like revenge for like running Outlaws so close to the book. I'm just going completely off script. I'm just cannibalizing the adventure and like rebuilding it as something completely nuts. And it's gonna be like Skull and Shackles, Wild Beyond the Witchlight, Planescape, like every weird, crazy, funky, stupid game that I've ever run is gonna be like the spirits of those games are gonna be like in Stolen Fate. Like I really think Stolen Fate is gonna be maybe the dumbest game I've ever run, and I'm just really excited about that. I'm just really excited.
You have some of the best crazy, chaotic players in that.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. It's a Lex, damn. It's a solid group. It is a solid group of players. So I'm very, very excited for Stolen Fate. I'm also excited for my other 2 games, Kingmaker and Skyhaven. Skyhaven because it's 100% original homebrew, so it's going to be a big challenge for me, I think. But yeah, the one I'm excited about of the 3 is definitely Stolen Fate. I'm looking forward to the other 2, but I'm excited about Stolen Fate. And then I guess
Monster
the third
Hunter,
thing,
Stolen Fate.
Yeah, third thing that I'm excited about next year for gaming. I don't know. I don't know what the third one is. I guess that I'd like to see more of Strength of Thousands. I'd like to see like where it's going. Like I enjoy it, but I enjoy you as the GM and the other players, I think, more than I enjoy the story, because I don't really feel like the story's going anywhere yet. And like I want to see it go somewhere. That is the biggest criticism for this book. Yeah, like I want to actually.
And that's what they call it the weakest.
Yeah, I want to actually do some stuff. I want to do some stuff. So yeah, I'd say those are 3 things I'm excited about. All right, well that puts us at overtime, end of 2025. It was a great year. It was a long year. It was a fast year, and we got a lot done. And yeah, I guess we'll meet back up next Friday and figure out our plan for 2025. And this time, Dom's going to stick to his resolutions and his goals.
It's not going to happen. I don't trust my future self.
Damn, bro. All right.
He can prove me wrong. He got to
now. Don't trust your future self. Dang.
Yeah, he's going to have to prove himself. Once he proves himself 1 year, then I'll believe him.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm proud of future me and past me, because they actually, I don't even think they meant to, but they did stick to them goals. So that was good. So maybe I'll make some goals next week and stick to those too. It'll just be better and better and better. We'll see. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out in chat. Thank you, everybody, who played with us and alongside us and ran games for us this year. We got a great community. The meetup this summer was like just fantastic. And yeah, I just look forward to, I don't know, more.
I just realized another big highlight of the year is just meeting everybody in person.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah. It was real life magical, to have people from all over the place, all convergent, let's be honest, the middle of nowhere, to hang out, and it was just great. It was great.
Yeah.
It's good times. So if I wasn't taking an incredibly expensive trip to Japan next year, I would be like, yeah, let's do it again. But I kind of need to recover a little bit.
Yeah. I know
Life is long. We'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Next year. We'll see. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and to everybody else, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Take care. See you next year.
See you next year. You had to be that guy, bro.